Welcome back, Payne County and the rest of the galaxy, to the most famous priest podcast of, well, Payne County and the state of Oklahoma. They have tuned something to the Pastors of Payne show. I'm here with my friend, Father Brian. No, sorry, you're not Father Brian O'Brien. Yeah, we have a secret guest on the show today. Father Brian O'Brien couldn't be in the studio here at Pete FM, so I have easily replaced him. I'm not sure about easily replaced him, but pretty darn easy to replace. Just go into the student center at St. John and just yell to one of my missionaries, "Hey, who wants to be on the Pastors of Payne show today?" And they all looked at me, and I was like, "I'm not really sure I want to do that and be with you." Well, anyway, Father Kerry Wakulich, pastor of St. John Catholic Student Center. You can check us out at buildingsaints.com. As Father O'Brien asks all the time, "Is your church done? Is your church?" And it is not. It is not. If you're interested in supporting or donating to the St. John Catholic Student Center building fund, just go to buildingsaints.com or just call me. Call me on my cell phone. My info's right out there. So is Matt Bonds, and we're gonna build a awesome Catholic student center, and on the corner of Miller and Knobloch, put Boone Pickens in our shadows. And Father Brian O'Brien, the pastor of St. Francis Xavier, again, is not here today. Easily replaced by, drum roll please. Brrr. Introduce yourself, girl.
All right. Hey, guys. My name is Olivia Gonzalez, and I'm a first-year FOCUS Missionary at OSU. Mm-hmm.
That's what? You're only a first year?
Yeah, I'm a first year.
When did you graduate?
2019.
From?
Arizona State University. Forks up.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe people at Arizona State give the forks symbol and then say, "Go Devils."
That's right. Fear the fork.
Fear the fork? Is it the Sun Devils or just like demonic forces?
The Sun Devils.
What's a Sun Devil?
It's this weird looking thing. His name is Sparky. He does push-ups at football games. I don't really know.
He's no Pistol Pete.
No, he's not. No.
His name is Sparky?
Mm-hmm. Sparky the Sun Devil.
Wow. Okay. I don't think I ever knew the name of the mascot there.
Yeah.
And that's all he does, and then makes personal appearances.
Yeah, it's a really big deal because, like, students can't know who Sparky is. So, like, to be Sparky is a really big honor. It's really
Wait,
cool.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Pistol Pete, people try out for Pistol Pete, and they go in for interviews and stuff like that. But how did they select Sparky?
Well, they do interview. I'm not exactly sure, but
you were not, obviously you were not one, or you're very good at concealing your identity.
No, all I know is some kid I knew made a documentary about being Sparky for, like, his honors thesis. Something at school. It was really funny, but yeah.
But it was all concealed.
Yeah, it's all concealed. You can't know.
Whoa, mm-hmm. Sparky. Okay, so you went to University of Arizona at Tempe?
No, I did not. We hate U of A.
Okay, you went to Arizona State.
Yes.
In Tempe.
Tempe, yes.
That's like the football stadium's like between two big giant rocks, isn't
mm-hmm.
it? Like just suspended there. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay, so but where are you raised? Because you're not. Go ahead.
I was raised in Mequon, Wisconsin.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Mequon? Okay, here I got my mitten. There's Madison. There's Onalaska, which is on the Minnesota border. Okay. Wait, what?
That's just really random that you know that town.
I have some friends from there.
From Onalaska.
From Onalaska. I went there and did a wedding.
Wow.
At the school there in La Crosse, UW La Crosse. Okay, where are you from?
So it's the Milwaukee suburbs.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if you know where Milwaukee is, you drive like 15 minutes north, and then you're in Mequon. Cute little town.
Is it Appleton's up there, isn't it?
Not as far. Appleton's like another hour.
Okay, where's the shrine of the Marian apparition? Where's that?
Green Bay.
That's in Milwaukee?
Green Bay is an hour and a half from Milwaukee.
North. Isn't that like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan?
No, not quite. Okay, so you got the mitten.
Okay.
Up here is Door County. If
on
you've
the
ever
thumb.
Heard of that.
On
That's
the thumb.
The thumb. The UP's like all the way up there.
Yeah. Shout out to
guys,
Lawrence, Michigan for I did a silent retreat out there one time. In Lawrence. In January. It was cold.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I went on a run one day and I was like, okay, bro, this is not a good idea. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
But anyways, Green Bay, listeners, if you're looking at your own hand, it's hanging by
If you're looking at your own hand.
a little bit by like the thumb crevice, I think. I really hope this is right. I'm not quite sure.
Well, yeah, at least close. You're at least close.
Somewhere around there. Hour and a half north of Milwaukee.
Okay. An hour and a half. And wait, where's the Marian Shrine?
Right outside of Green Bay.
Right outside of Green Bay. Okay, got it. And if you've never been to the Marian Shrine, it's called Our Lady of
Good Help, I think.
Good Help.
Yes.
Okay. It's actually
I've never been.
I've never been either. My sister has been a lot of times, but it was the same time that Marian apparition. There was one in Benu in Belgium and Barang. So there's like these 3 Marian apparitions that are all connected to the Belgian farmers.
Wow.
Benu, Barang, and then somewhere around Green Bay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where you're from, and then you went to. Why'd you go to Arizona? Because you were a snowbird, and it's like in your blood. When you were born, people told you in Wisconsin, you're gonna go to Arizona one day. You're gonna venture off, and you're going to. That's probably not how people from Wisconsin.
No,
hold on. Let me see if I can summons my Wisconsin accent. Hey, hoser. Hey, don't you know? No, that's
Badgers,
that,
not the.
No, that's not Minnesota.
No, that's Indiana.
That's Indiana. They all blend together. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so you went to Arizona State.
Yes, because my parents moved to Arizona after my senior year of high school.
Oh, right on.
And I was big into traveling, seeing the world. I was like, I don't want to stay in Wisconsin. I'm going to go to Arizona.
Okay.
So I went to ASU. They have a good honors college. I got a good deal. And I was like, yeah, let's go.
What'd you major in?
Global health with a minor in business and also civic and economic thought and leadership.
That is like the Technicolor dream coat of graduation degrees and stuff.
I like to learn things, so
I believe it.
Picked a few.
You picked a few. Okay, so you're there, Arizona, and now you're a missionary. What happened between your freshman year and your senior year of, that led you to come to God's country, as also known as the Red Dirt Riviera, or if it's really technical, the Red Soiled Riviera, for all those out there who are agronomists. Okay. I
actually put in my newsletter, Red Dirt, welcome to the Red Dirt Riviera.
Oh, yes.
Shout out to you.
Thank you. Okay, so what got you? What happened between your freshman year and your senior year now that you're a missionary for Focus?
So a lot of things changed because my mindset when going to college was faith is stupid. I don't want anything to do with it because I am a smart girl, air quotes around smart girl. Yeah, so I was born and raised Catholic, as, I don't know, perhaps a lot of people were. And, faith in today's day and age is a little, the way we hand down our faith, I feel like needs a little work, which we can talk about later. But basically, yes, born and raised Catholic, went to ASU. When I got there, I was like, okay, done with that. That's like a thing of the past. I'm going to go be a new college girl. I'm going to see the world. I'm going to learn things. I'm going to do all the college things. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to be who I want to be. It's going to be great. My life is going to be wonderful. Like, the sky's the limit. Got to college, started getting involved in, as I said, the normal college things. I went out a lot, and
out a lot means hitting the bars.
Not the bars.
Dance clubs.
I was 18.
Dance clubs.
More like hitting the
dance clubs. When students show up on Sunday morning with big black X's on their hands, I can tell they've been to tumbleweed. Yeah. So anyway, it's a safe place for college students to go sometimes. Anyway, okay. So you just out. Did you join a sorority?
I did join a sorority second semester, my freshman year.
Okay. And so you just got into the typical routine your freshman year.
Yeah.
And then we're like, I'm kicking Jesus to the curb.
Yeah, I kicked him to the curb in high school, actually, my senior year.
What? Why would you do that?
I never felt like I knew God. I felt like other people did, and I just never actually met him as like a person. And so I was like, I've never met him, so he's doesn't relate to my life. I don't want to get to know him.
What do you think they could have done better your junior and senior year to help you meet the living God or get to know the good God?
I think.
Oh, really great question. Come back to that one. Okay, so what happened your sophomore year then in college?
my sophomore year in college, I studied abroad, which was
Ooh.
great because being from like a smaller town in Wisconsin, I was like, I want to see the world. There's so many things to do. I just like want to be a part of it. So my second semester, my sophomore year, I studied abroad in Chile, which was really, really cool.
¿Habla español?
Sí.
Oh, 100% o más o menos bien.
Pues como 80.
80? Solamente 80, no
Yeah.
90. Well, tell me how to change brakes in a car.
Oh, I can't do that.
Boom. That is probably part of that 10% to 20%.
The 20%. Yeah, I've never driven in a Spanish-speaking country.
People are like, oh my gosh, you're fluent. And I say, I don't know how to change brakes in a car, and I don't know how to say the word grass.
Really? Pasto.
Pasto?
in-
Like a field.
Maybe. That's what they say in Chile, but the problem is like Mexican Spanish is different. Depends on where you are.
Yeah, when I was a priest at St. Thomas More in East Tulsa, I had to learn like 9 dialects.
Whoa.
Because you have to learn the slang from each of these countries.
Yeah.
Like you say, like someone from Honduras, like, todo macizo, todo cheque. Like, how are you? ¿Cómo está? Todo macizo, todo cheque. And other people are like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, it's tough.
Or you accidentally use like words that mean one thing in another country but are profanity in another. And you're like, "No."
It's so hard.
It's worse from the pulpit.
Yeah, I believe it. I know. You have the collar. You have the whole priest brand stuff going on.
Thanks a lot. Okay, so
but yeah.
you went to Chile. You went down to Chile, which if no one's ever been to Chile, Chile is beautiful or ugly?
Beautiful. Naturally the most beautiful. But don't go for the food. Not worth it.
You mean, so the restaurant Chili's is no representation of the
related.
food from Chile?
No.
Because I was really hungry for some baby back ribs, and I was going to go down to Chile
Yeah.
for some baby back.
Not
I
the
want
same.
my
Not
baby
the same.
baby back. Okay, anyway,
Yeah.
so you went down to Chile.
So I went down to Chile, and I finally, ASU was kind of a rough transition for me going there because we moved, my whole family moved, as I said, and it was just kind of felt like my world ended and like a new world was starting, and I was like trying to piece together this identity of like who I was, who I wanted to be, and a big part of that was like a traveler, person who like was just very curious about the world, like just all these things. And so I went to Chile, and I finally had met some good friends. That was a big thing for me in college.
From ASU or from other colleges?
No, so everyone on my study abroad was from tiny liberal arts colleges. Yeah, and I was like, these are
Name
the
a tiny
people.
liberal arts college.
McAllister.
I'm sorry, where?
McAllister's
Like the
in
restaurant in
Minnesota.
town?
There's one Swarthmore. There's a girl from there.
What?
Swarthmore.
Swarthmore? Is that anywhere near like places like Hogwarts or anything?
Maybe. It's in Pennsylvania, I'm pretty sure.
Sounds like it.
I hope I'm right. Who knows?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but so I studied abroad. I started making these friends, and I was like, yes, like these are the people that I'm looking for. Like I can't find them at ASU. This is great. And then I started traveling. I went down to Patagonia, which is an actual place, not just a brand. Fun fact, someone asked me that the other day. And I went backpacking for like a week, and it was super cool. And I started doing all these things that I just had been like waiting to do. Which was really exciting. But I realized like a month or two into my study abroad that I just wasn't happy. And it really upset me because I just had this idea since high school. It's like once I'm traveling, once I'm seeing the world, once I'm living this life, like then I'm going to be happy and then I'm going to be fulfilled. And I did all the things. And I made it to where I wanted to be, and I didn't have the feeling that I had been searching for, like a deep sense of fullness. And I just like honestly kind of internally lost it because I was like, what do I do with the rest of my life? Like I've made it to where I want to be, and what I'm looking for isn't there. So like I can't, like at the time I was pre-med, so I'm like, how could I go be a doctor, like climb this like corporate ladder or whatever, like become like the best of what I want to be if I'm already like where I think I was supposed to be and it's not enough.
Come on, are you serious?
Yeah. So I had a crisis. It was bad.
How old were you?
19.
You're 19 years old and you're having a crisis. Okay, there's probably a lot of other people.
Yeah, that's it. This fires me up.
Why is that fire you up? Come on, girl.
Fires me up because I think a lot of people think young people don't care about these issues, don't think about them, or they're too busy getting drunk, partying, doing all these things. But I feel like it's because we, like people in my generation, or at least like where I'm from, we have like everything we could materially ever want. Literally everything is at our fingertips and no one is happy. and no one talks about it, and no one is actually like, okay, let's like unpack this and figure out why. They're just like, no, more things, more media will like cover it up and make me feel better. So.
Whoa. You think that's true? A lot of people are young college students are fairly unhappy?
Yeah. I don't think they'll tell you, but yes.
They won't tell me? You think they'll tell me?
They'll tell you.
They'll tell
People
me.
like you.
Oh, but they normally say, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
When they're in this pursuit of the fountain of youth or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. They're like, this when I get this, I'll be happy.
Yeah. And
it's no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there you are. Are you coming back from Patagonia, or are you like in Chile still when you're having this mid-19 crisis?
So I'm in Chile, and like a part of it, this is where the Lord comes in, is I had this girl in my program whose name was Sarah. She was the one other girl not from a tiny school. She went to Mizzou. And they actually had Focus on her campus.
Okay.
They didn't have Focus on my campus.
Okay.
I didn't know what Focus was.
No, Focus Missionaries at Arizona State? That's a huge college.
They don't. Mm-hmm. They left my freshman year, apparently. But as I said, I wasn't practicing. So
so you didn't even know if they were there.
I never met them. Yeah.
As I said previously.
I was a heathen. So, yes. So I meet Sarah. She's involved with Focus. I think she's like a cool girl, and then I see she has Mary earrings, and I'm like, what is wrong with her? Like, why is she wearing those?
You duped me. I thought you were cool.
Yeah, like in a public place. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't talk about religion in public. That was just how I felt at the time. Okay. But so we became friends, and I remember writing in my journal, because I was like, trying to be self-actualized like modern people try to. How out of all the there were like 24 people on my program, and I was like put off geographically in this area with only like 3 other people. We were like farther from other people, so we had to spend more time together. And Sarah was literally my next door neighbor.
In Chile.
Yeah. And I was like, haha, very funny, God, if you're real. Like, you put the Catholic girl right next to me.
If you are real.
Yeah, that's how I felt. But yeah, so we became friends. She invited me to go to Mass with her. I started going, so I was like, yeah, cool cultural experience. Like, I'm going to go. So I went to Mass with her. And
Did she invite you to Mass because you're Catholic, or invite you to Mass just because?
Because I'm Catholic. I think I told her.
Okay.
I was like, I was raised Catholic. I don't remember what else I said.
Low-key.
Yeah, so I think she was like, because she was like really involved with Focus. Like, she was in discipleship, like all the things. She's a missionary now. She's great. I love her.
Who is this?
Sarah Robinson. Sarah Schmidt. She just got married.
Oh,
Congrats, Sarah.
Man. Sorry, Sarah Schmidt. Okay, keep going.
So I met Sarah, and basically like all these thoughts were like swirling, but I wouldn't really look at them very much, because I would just self-medicate with my phone and like going out, all these different things.
That is so true.
It's literally so true.
When you have idle time, I love that really cool technology has been built by idle time and like people getting bored. But now we have like the self-medication and the use of our phones. Like, when I feel sad, I just pick up my phone. Exactly. And I take a hit of social media.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So literally all this kind of came to head on this one trip my program went on. It was a public health program, and so we were studying traditional medicine. So we went to this small town in the Chilean highlands, and there were only like 1,000 people, and it was at like 12,000 feet elevation.
What?
Yeah. It's really high.
That's really high. That's like, there's not a lot of oxygen up there. For us who live at 98.6, that's way up there.
Yeah, so it was my first time being in high elevation, and I didn't do well with it. I actually had a really bad reaction, and I was stuck in bed. And because Sarah was my friend, like she was my roommate, so we were living together. And I was just like stuck there, and literally like they had to put me on an oxygen tank at some point because it was like really bad.
What?
Yeah. But there was like, and so I was stuck in my room. We were there for 5 days. I was stuck in my room for like 3 of them, and there was very limited cell service. And so I was finally like left alone with myself for like the first time in a while.
Oh, and no cell phone. Mm-hmm. Nothing to distract you. Nothing to, what'd you say? Self-medicate.
Yeah. So it was honestly It was very tragic for me at the time.
Tragedy strikes. I have nothing to do except lay here like people did for 1,000 years.
Literally, but it was horrible. And I just felt bad. But then, so Sarah's my roommate, and she was like, I have this book. If you want, you can read it. It's about Pope St. John Paul the Great. And I was like,
stop.
Yeah.
That's what she gave
That's
you?
what she gave. That was the only book she had. And I was like, fine. Like, I'll read it.
You're like, have you ever, the writings of St. Ignatius of Loyola?
Oh,
He wants to hear all about battles and warfare. And the nuns are like, we have, hey, Ignacio, we have the life of Christ and the scriptures.
Yeah.
And he's like, after a while, he's like, okay, you've worn me out. I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then his eyes are open just a little.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess
So you're laying there and you get handed what book? Tell me it's the greatest story ever told.
No.
Second greatest story ever told.
It's a pretty good story. It's Pope St. John Paul the Great, Jason Everett, His Five Loves. If you've read it, 10 out of 10 would recommend.
You're recommending it to people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I really like the book. I read it again post-conversion, and I was like, yeah, this book is actually really good. But she gives me the book. I open the book. On the first page, it says, the first time I met Pope St. John Paul the Great was at Arizona State University at Sun Devil Stadium.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You duped me, Lord, and I let myself. So you're laying on a bed all by yourself in a room at 12,000 foot elevation in Chile.
This Aymaran woman's like homestay where I'm just alone.
No electricity or no electricity?
Electricity, but like the plumbing was not working. It was really minimal.
Okay, and then they hand you this. Your friend Sarah Schmidt hands you this book and says, take a gander at this.
And I'm like, sure. And so I read it. I see that, and it just like, it was like very subtle, but at the time I was like, this is like too much of a coincidence to be a coincidence. If you know what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't like put it off as just like, oh yeah, I just stumbled on this book, because it was just like so random but like so personal at the same time, where I was like, God, like, I don't know if you're real. I think you might be, and if you are, like, I guess I'll try to come to know you. So that was like the very like first like seed that was planted. And I told myself, like, at that point, okay, like, I'll try to go to the Catholic Center when I get back to school, because I want to just like at least try it, you know, and like see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tricky Yahweh.
Yes.
As Father Dolph Drendel used to say, he's so tricky.
Yeah.
He's very, very tricky.
Literally so tricky. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I finished my study abroad. I'm still kind of grasping for like travel to fulfill me, and I just keep realizing after I went to Chile, I went to Argentina, I went to Uruguay, I went to Peru, I did all these things. It was really cool, but then I was just still having this crisis of, I'm like, why am I traveling? Everything's so temporary. I need something permanent. Like, I want something steady that I can like base my life on.
Okay.
You know?
Something ever ancient, ever new.
Yes, exactly. Because I feel like so many young people are just like, yeah, if you just travel, you'll find yourself. But it's like, I don't know. That's a whole different thing.
You know what? Mine's very similar experience. I thought adventure. If I do all these really cool adventures in the military, then I'm going to be like satisfied with the adventure. And then it's like, yeah, I think you said it very well. I want something stable.
Yeah.
That is true and beautiful, that is also an adventure.
Exactly. Like something that lasts, because I feel like with travel, it's like you get the high and then you stay there for a while and you realize like you brought yourself with you. So everything you had back at home, like you're still dealing with, you know?
Ooh.
So it's like you can move to a random place in the world, and like after like 3 months, you're going to be like, wait, I'm still sad. I'm still not happy because I'm still missing what I was looking for, because like a new place doesn't change that.
Wow. A new place doesn't change that. It just builds more like, history or like memories, but it doesn't launch you out into anything true.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. So you get back to northern Arizona. Just kidding. No. Arizona State.
Yeah, I get back to ASU over the summer. I happened to stumble upon this other book at Goodwill called Finding God at Harvard. I bought it
Goodwill?
At Goodwill. I was buying my friend a birthday present. I got her this cute cat pillow, and then I looked in the book section. I was like, God, Harvard, sounds cool. I'll read it. So I read the book, and it's kind of like Chicken Soup for the Soul, like an anthology sort of thing where it tells you all about different people's testimonies. Read it. I realized smart people could believe in God, and I was like, okay, that's really helpful. Read that, ended up.
Smart people can believe in God. Okay.
I was a savage. I was really critical. Ended up, read the book. It was great. Ended up stumbling into the Newman Center because like a random friend asked me to go with her. I probably wouldn't have gone alone. And we introduced ourselves to one girl. She looked really cute. We're like, let's say hi to her. Which is also, this is just what I was thinking. I met her. Her name was Kelsey, and she was the SPO missionary.
Oh, St. Paul's Outreach. Oh, I love SPO.
Yeah. So she invited my friend Jen and I to go get coffee. And then she asked us to join her Bible study. And I joined it because I was like, why not? Sure, whatever. And I realized like in that Bible study that all these truths I was learning about like my identity and who God was were filling me in a way that like nothing else had.
Wow.
And it was bringing me like this joy and this peace and just like showing me that like maybe my life could be different. Like maybe I didn't have to like do all the things I was doing. Maybe I could wake up at 8 a.m. and actually go to mass on Sunday instead of sleeping until 2, you know? Like, oh my God. All this stuff is like actually possible. And then just from that, I guess it was like my journey was still more slow. It was because like I had a lot of fear within me because I thought I had tried the faith thing before.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah.
So you thought you had tried it before, but what did you think of it? Like as you look back, you're like, what was that faith? Was it phony? Was it just like mediocre? Was it just like you didn't put a lot of effort into it? I mean, like how did you reconcile that?
Yeah, so looking back on it now, I realized what was missing was like a deep interior life and like an actual me setting aside like 15-30 minutes every day to try to talk to God. Where like I would go and do all the things. I would go to mass on Sunday. I was in youth group, all these different things, but like no one ever talked about prayer and the importance of actually knowing God. And so I just didn't know him. And when I went to like a Steubenville conference in high school, I was like expecting, you know, 'cause some people like start weeping. There are people on the floor. And I was just like, I don't feel anything. Therefore, God must not be real, you know?
Okay.
And as I look back on it now, I just realized like no one ever told me like God isn't just feelings, you know, like he's more than that. And he like wants more for you, but like we need to like put in the time to actually come to know him.
Just like a friendship. Like you have to put in time.
Like a real live person you have to
like
actually talk to.
As if God is real
as
and
if
alive.
God is real and living and wants to know you. So then in college, my junior year, I started slowly getting more and more involved. I started giving more and more yeses to the Lord. And Kelsey told me something that stuck with me is like, just give the Lord like what you can give him. Like give him like the little bit that you have and like he'll take it. He's not going to ask you to give your whole life like today. And so it was like, like the slow series of yeses, which eventually brought me my senior year to trying to figure out what to do after college. And I realized like that nothing, as I was saying, nothing like filled me more than like my relationship with the Lord. And the fact I have like a major and 2 random minors is because I was also looking for that fulfillment in my career and I didn't find it. And then after just trying to like find all these options to save the world, I feel like the Lord slowly revealed to me that like no one can actually heal others. No one can like rebuild society. No one can transform like the way that Jesus can. And so I realized that I wanted to be a part of like what he was doing and like his kingdom. And then I like focused.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, okay, cool. Wow.
Okay, cool, wow.
Yeah, and so then I applied to be a missionary. I took a year off because I decided this June after I graduated. And here I am.
Oh my. Here you are in Payne County, Red Dirt River area, America. Wow. That is... Wow, to be continued. I want to hear more. You're going to give your every weekend students give their testimony. So the Focus Missionaries give their little like a testimony, but you get 2 to 3 minutes. So this is the extended version of that 2 to 3 minutes plus me just blabbing and asking more and more questions. But you're going to do this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
And it's really cool when the Focus Missionaries give their testimony and talk about how they come to meet the Lord in college or in high school or even like their last years, and now they're a missionary. It's really fantastic because other students are like, I agree with whatever you said right there, and we need to talk. Mm-hmm. I mean, Annie just the other day was like, people were like, I need to talk to you. People were asking me for her number.
Aww.
Yeah, so it's really beautiful. Okay, wow. So pray for the students at Oklahoma State University. Pray for the students at St. John Catholic Student Center, especially those being baptized and being brought into the church this year, and other people who are seekers right now, who are looking to meet the Lord, to know the Lord, and maybe have given religion a shot one time and then wrote it off like Miss Olivia over here. And now are back. So pray for us. Pray for all these college students. Remember, we're here in Stillwater, Oklahoma to build saints for the kingdom of God. Peace.